I will just give a pre-warning. If anyone's easily offended or doesn't like the C word, you might want to step out for like the next 15 minutes. Okay? But if anyone really likes the C word, just be on the lookout for that, right? It'll not to give spoilers, but it'll pop up at some point. Okay? Right, we're ready then. Right. So, I was thinking about this and I thought, I don't really want to ruin this really great open mic with some really shitty jokes. So I thought I'd ruin it with some like really shitty singing instead. So we'll start off with that, okay? Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do Disturbed. I'll go back to the shitty jokes instead. We'll do that, okay? And yes, I'm 70% unprepared, so I've just wrote everything down instead. I actually remember talking to a few friends about this and just not really being sure about how to open it. Like in my personal experience, I find the opener the hardest part, just to come across of how you are and what types of jokes you're going to do. So this week I was just throwing around some ideas to my friends and saying stuff like, what if I started with a rape joke? And in fairness, all my friends said, no, please God, just don't do it, please. And I said, you're making it too easy for me. Now, to be fair, I know shouting the word rape around in a pub on a Friday night is probably as bad as shouting the word bomb in an airport, but you just have to remember there's no real victims, it's all make-believe, there's no real bomb, there's no real rape, it's all fake, so we can all be friends, and it'll be like victim-free rape, the best kind, So we'll just go along with that. And if you're already worried about me saying the word rape at least 5 times in the last 30 seconds, I promise I'll stop saying the word, okay? Just for everyone else's peace of mind. So this week I've read online about this woman who accused 10 men of sexual assault. Didn't say the word rape, so it's fine. But to be honest, the only reason it was in the news in the first place was because all these accusations, all 10 of them, were proven to be fake. And I thought, how bad is that these 10 innocent men could have gone to jail for these really false accusations? Like 10, really? You couldn't just say 1 or 2 of them did it. 10 seems a bit, extreme. But when I was reading this on the internet, they actually showed a picture of this woman, and she was this 25-stone circle, is the best way I could describe her. And looking at her, I just kind of thought, to be fair, it looks like a 10-man job. So it made sense. But see, because the accusations she said were false, we can joke about that, We could joke about things that are false, like the rape or my happiness. We could joke about that, Genuinely, though, my life is such a huge pile of shit. People have started climbing in, planting flags. So I think is it Freshers Week this week? Yeah? How many students we got in? A couple, right? Yeah, just enthusiastic, just as students normally are. I do genuinely like students, though, believe it or not. I mean, you may be more educated than me, but you're also in more debt. So, But, no, it's really great, the chance to get all these students from all around the world coming over, especially for someone like me who doesn't travel much. The idea of having these students from all over the world share their culture and experiences and their food, it's really great. One specific example I like to use is, has anyone ever had Ethiopian food? No? Neither have they. Yeah, I really don't think I'm coming across as a good person right now, am I? I mean, to be fair, I think I had a gynecologist come up to me and say I was the biggest cunt he'd ever seen. So I think that's fair. So anyway, I think we'll move on from all that dodgy shit. I'll talk about introductions. So my name's Callum. Yep, all right. So physically, nothing special, you know. The best way I can describe it is, you know those like mirrors at fun fairs that look all dodgy and distorted? Well, imagine looking like that, but in every mirror. That's pretty much how I look. And, you know, speaking of appearance, for those of you wondering, no, it's not a phase. I am actually emo. I remember telling my father the same thing, but the difference is being a father was a phase for my father, so he's gone now. Here's a riddle for you. What does my father and my bank card have in common? They're both contactless. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, laugh at my pain, carry on, go on. I actually remember speaking to Reese and Carlos about this and saying I was pretty nervous about doing it, you know, like I wanted to reserve the right to just pull out of this whole thing at any time, which was weird to say to guys for a change. But, you know, they didn't mind. As a side note, though, I'd say sex with me is like a first draft of a group project. Like, it's acceptable, but it can be improved with other people. Let's see, what else have I been doing this week? Well, I got a haircut this week, and before any of you ask, this was intentional. I didn't lose a bet. And yeah, it's been a while since I've seen my regular hairdresser, and I remember when she was doing my sides, she was talking about shaving the sides, and she forgot what number I had on the sides, and, you know, 1 being the shortest. So she said, oh, do you have number 2, number 3? And I said, honestly, give me anything but number 1, or I look like I have stage 4. Some more things about me. Right now I work for a deaf charity, which, believe it or not, is a surprise to me as well. I remember during the interview process, I said something along the lines of, oh, I wonder what the least used phrase in sign language is. It's probably something like, help, I have no hands. Yeah, luckily they didn't hear me, of course, so I got the job. Yeah, I mean, you know, I work for a charity. I'd like to think I'm a charitable person. Like, just an example for you, this last week or so, I was on my way to work and I came across this little person, and he's been a friend of the family my entire life, you know. He drives his own car, he's got a really good job and everything, but he got into a little accident recently, pardon the pun, and I asked him, I said, you know, do you want a lift to work and everything? I can help you over, I'll give you a lift, save you taking the bus now the car's in the garage. And he told me to fuck off, and I thought that was pretty bad, so I just zipped up my rucksack and carried on walking. Yeah, so some more things about me. I'm from the Rhondda Valleys. The valleys. So there's like a 90% chance I'm from a working class or very poor family. Which is fine, you know, but it does make things like Christmas awkward. Like, you know, I had to wake up with an erection on Christmas Day just so I had something to play with. Could have been worse, though, you know. I could have been homeless, which is worse than being poor. It is pretty bad. But I will say, I did a homeless girl once, and the best part about that was, you can drop her off anywhere. I felt sorry for a dog, though. I must have thought, fuck me, this is the longest walk of my life. But, you know, I thought maybe it'll get home eventually. There's a huge, like, drug problem with homeless people as well. You know, like, people think, like, marijuana or coffee are, like, really hardcore drugs. But, like, you know, homeless people are into their, like, coke and their crack and their heroin and crocodile. All the cool kids' drugs, you know? And the way people compare those two things just makes no sense to me. Like, if someone came up to me and just went, I just sucked a guy off for some heroin. You just really like heroin. That makes sense. But if some guy came up to me and went, I just sucked a guy off for some cappuccino, I'd be like, you must really like sucking cock. It's not the same thing, you know? Speaking of things that suck, I think that's pretty much me for this, just this taster, just to, you know, edge it in a little bit. But I will end things on like a light, like dad joke from someone without a dad. You know, I think that'll work. What do you call a theatre production about the alphabet? A play on words.